Okay, let's proceed to the second method, software reset. Now remember, software reset only clears the configuration and leaves the other system files intact. So that's it. So how can we execute the software reset? It could be done in two ways. First way is through the graphical user interface or the GUI interface, and second way is through its command line interface. Okay, so for the GUI, these are the steps that we're going to do and perform in order to reset the device via software through its graphical user interface. Steps are as follows. First one is to navigate to the system UI dashboard, and then clicking on the reset configuration. Then the device will prompt for reboot to continue, and then let's connect back to the device via its dashboard. So just keep in mind that in performing this software reset, you have already access to the router. You have the credential already so that you can perform software reset. So without very much ado, let's do it. This is the dashboard of our Ubiquiti ER8 Pro. I already logged in using the default Ubiquiti credential. And in order to perform the graphical user interface reset, we're just going to navigate to System here, and then a pop-up window will appear, and just scroll down to System Reset. This one. And then, however, in the latest versions of firmware versions of H Router, what you can do in hardware reset method, you can do it also here in the software reset method. That's the changes that has made by Ubiquiti. So as you can see, we have here two buttons, the reset configuration. So basically, this is the purpose of the software reset. Only the configuration to default, and then the rest of the files will be still intact. But now in the latest one, as I've said a while ago, factory reset, this will reset all the configurations and everything to factory default settings, including the firmware. So this is the update. It has the function like a hardware reset. So prior to this step, we're just going to run the reset configuration via it's this button. We just leave the other files intact. We just uh, revert back the configs to default, factory defaults. So press this one, reset button, and then it will pop up a prompt to proceed to reset to default, this one, and then it will ask a question to whether you continue the reset, and then for the unit to reboot, just click yes, I'm sure, and it prompts here that the system is in the process of being reset to default config. Let's just pop up our persistent ping to the device, and as you can see, general failure, request timeout. So now the device is rebooting. As you can see, the port 80 is blinking in boot up process. There she goes. Our power lead indicator is lighting up also. Let's just wait the ping to have a positive output. Now, as you can see, we have a positive ping. We have a reply from our H router 1.1. So let's just click the reload button. And there you go, voila! We are in the H router dashboard. Let's just input the default password, Ubiquiti, you know that already. And click on here the login button. And voila, there you go, it's loading up. Okay, just click now. And doing a share. So okay, you have done the software reset via the graphical user interface way. That's it. So how about we're going to execute the uh, reset of the device via command line interface. So how to do it? These are the steps. Step number 1, overwrite the current startup config boot file with the default startup file config.boot.default. This is the command that you will run in the CLI And then second step, reboot the H router. This is the command, reboot, and it will give you a prompt. Just click yes. And then step number 3, let's just wait for the router to reboot. And step number 4, reconnect to the router dashboard using the default IP. So let's jump in, let's do it. In order to access the command line interface, let's just log into our Ubiquiti dashboard. And I am already here, logged in already. So just navigate to CLI, this one, command line interface. And then let's wait some time. There we go, to initiate. And it will prompt for the login. Just enter UBNT for the username, UBNT for the password. There she goes. We are in our Ubiquiti command line interface. Command is for step number 1. So this is sudo space cp copy space to opt. So what we do in here is we're just merely overwriting the current startup config, which is found in the config boot file, the default startup file that can be found in config boot default. Okay, this is the command. Just press enter, and then second step, we're going to reboot the H router. We just type here reboot, press enter, and it will ask if we're going to save the changes. And to confirm, just hit enter here. And then the system is going down for a reboot now. So let's just wait for the reboot to complete. Let's just pop up our command prompt. As you can see, we are not able to, ping the hardware, the device, because it's rebooting. So now we have a ping response from the router. Let's just connect back to the dashboard. Let's just click reload since we are still on the 1.1 IP address. Reload, and then there you go. We have here the login prompt. UBNT by default. Click login. And voila, there you go. We have successfully resetted the device by a software reset using the command line interface. Okay, so thank you very much for making this far, and voila.